You wake up at 5 a.m. You work two jobs. You hustle harder than anyone you know. And somehow, you're still broke, while your college buddy who works from home in his pajamas just bought his second rental property. What the hell is going on? Stick around, because what I'm about to tell you is going to flip everything you thought you knew about money on its head. Welcome to Success Talks. We unveil wealth secrets hidden from the world's sight. Look, I know this hits close to home for a lot of you, because we've all been sold this American dream, right? Work hard, keep your nose to the grindstone, and you'll make it. But here's the brutal truth nobody wants to talk about. Hard work alone is a trap. It's actually keeping you poor. Now, before you click away thinking I'm just some privileged jerk telling you to work smarter, not harder, hang on. I'm going to break down exactly why the hardest workers often stay stuck in the rat race, while others seem to glide into wealth. And more importantly, I'm going to show you what you need to do differently. By the end of this video, you're going to understand the hidden mechanisms that keep working class people broke, the mindset shifts that separate the wealthy from the working poor, and the actual steps you can take starting today to break free from this cycle. This isn't some feel-good motivational BS. This is the real deal. So, let's dive in. Here's the first thing you need to understand. There are only 24 hours in a day. Doesn't matter if you're Jeff Bezos or a janitor working the night shift, we all get the same 24. When you work hard at a job, what you're really doing is trading your time for money. And that's a losing game from the jump. Because your time, it's finite. It runs out. You can only work so many hours before you literally collapse. I see people bragging about working 80-hour weeks like it's a badge of honor. Yeah, man, I'm grinding. I got 3 jobs. And I'm like, bro, you're not grinding, you're getting ground down. There's a difference. The wealthy figured out something crucial a long time ago. You need to make money while you sleep. Warren Buffett said it best, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die.
Real talk. Think about it. Your landlord makes money while they sleep. The person who owns the stock portfolio makes money while they sleep. The business owner makes money while they sleep. But the person working 3 jobs, they gotta be awake and present to make a single dollar. This is why you can work harder than everyone else and still be broke. You're playing a completely different game than wealthy people. You're trading hours for dollars. They're building systems and assets that generate income 24/7. And here's the kicker. The harder you work at a regular job, the more you're reinforcing this trap. Because you're so exhausted from working, you don't have the energy to build something that could actually set you free. It's like being stuck in quicksand. The more you struggle using the same old methods, the deeper you sink. All right, here's something that's going to sting a bit, but you need to hear it. Not all hard work is created equal. Some skills pay, some don't. It's that simple. You can be the hardest working construction worker on the planet. You can be the most dedicated cashier. You can clean houses better than anyone, and none of those skills, no matter how valuable they are to society, no matter how essential, are going to make you wealthy. And that's not fair, but it's reality. The system doesn't reward effort, it rewards leverage and scarcity. A surgeon gets paid more than a home health aide, even though both are saving lives. Why? Scarcity. It takes years of expensive education to become a surgeon. Anyone can technically become a home health aide in a few weeks. A software engineer makes 6 figures, while a farm worker breaks their back for minimum wage. Why? Leverage. The software engineer writes code once, and it can be used by millions of people. The farm worker's labor only produces so many pounds of crops per day. I'm not saying this is right. I'm saying this is how the game works, and if you don't understand the rules, you can't win. Here's what happens to most hard workers. They get really, really good at skills that don't scale. They become the best at something that has a hard ceiling on earning potential. They master tasks that can only be done by showing up physically and putting in the hours. Meanwhile, wealthy people focus on high-leverage skills from day one. Skills like persuasion, sales, marketing, negotiation, financial literacy, leadership, and networking. These skills don't require you to work harder, they require you to work differently. A great salesperson can make more in one commission than a factory worker makes in 6 months of 60-hour weeks, not because they work harder, but because their skills create more financial value in the marketplace. It's harsh, but you gotta ask yourself, are the skills you're developing every day leading to wealth, or are they just leading to more hard work? Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, ownership. This is the big one, folks. This is the secret sauce that separates the wealthy from everyone else. Rich people own things. Poor people work for people who own things. It really is that straightforward. You know what every wealthy person I've ever met has in common? They own assets, businesses, real estate, stocks, intellectual property, systems, things that generate income whether they're actively working or not. When you work hard at a job, you're building someone else's asset. You're making your boss rich. You're increasing shareholder value for people you'll never meet. You're pouring all your time, energy, and creativity into building someone else's wealth. And yeah, they pay you for it, but here's the thing. They pay you just enough to keep you coming back, but never enough to become their competition. This is why people can work at the same company for 30 years and retire with almost nothing. They spent 3 decades building equity in someone else's business instead of their own. I've seen it happen so many times. Someone's a loyal employee, works their butt off, gets a gold watch and a pension that barely covers their bills. Meanwhile, the owners sell the company for hundreds of millions. The mindset shift you need to make is stop seeing yourself as just an employee. Start seeing yourself as a potential owner. What can you own? What assets can you build or acquire? It doesn't have to be huge at first. Maybe you start a side hustle. Maybe you buy a small rental property. Maybe you invest in index funds. Maybe you create digital products. Maybe you build an online audience. The point is, you're starting to own something that can generate income independent of your labor. You're getting on the ownership side of the equation. Because here's the truth bomb. Hard work is abundant, ownership is scarce, and the market rewards scarcity. Okay, so let's say you do get a raise. You're working hard, you get promoted, you're making more money. You should be getting ahead, right?
Wrong. For most people, this is where another trap kicks in. Lifestyle inflation. You start making 60K instead of 40K. Awesome. So what do? You move to a nicer apartment. You finance a newer car. You upgrade your phone, your wardrobe, your everything. And suddenly, you're making 50% more, but you're still living paycheck to paycheck. I see this all the time. People get a raise and immediately increase their expenses to match. They never actually get ahead because their lifestyle keeps pace with their income. It's like running on a treadmill that keeps getting faster. The wealthy do the opposite. When their income goes up, they keep their lifestyle the same and invest the difference. They live below their means, not at their means or beyond them. Here's what blows my mind. Some people making 30K a year save money. Some people making 200K a year are broke. The difference isn't the income, it's the relationship with money. Hard workers often fall into this trap because they feel like they deserve to enjoy their money. I work so hard, I should be able to treat myself. And yeah, you should enjoy life, but if you're treating yourself into poverty, that's not a reward, that's self-sabotage. The wealthy understand delayed gratification. They understand that every dollar saved and invested is a soldier fighting for their financial freedom. They're willing to drive a regular car for a few extra years if it means they can buy a rental property. They're willing to skip fancy vacations if it means they can invest in their business. Most hard workers are focused on looking successful. The wealthy are focused on being successful. And there's a massive difference. Here's another painful truth. Our education systems set us up for this. We're taught to be good employees, not wealthy people. Think about what you learned in school. You learned history, math, science, literature, all good stuff. But did anyone teach you about compound interest, tax strategies, how to invest, how to start a business, how to negotiate a salary, how to build wealth? Nope. Because the system is designed to create workers, not owners. And I'm not even being conspiratorial here. That's literally what the industrial education model was built for. So you've got people who work incredibly hard, who are smart, dedicated, disciplined, but they're financially illiterate. They don't understand how money actually works. They don't know the difference between an asset and a liability. They don't understand tax deductions, investment vehicles, or leverage. Meanwhile, wealthy people get financial education from day one, not in school, at the dinner table. Wealthy parents teach their kids about money, investing, business, and wealth building. It's generational knowledge that gets passed down. This is why you can have someone who barely graduated high school become a millionaire through smart business and investing, while someone with a master's degree is drowning in student debt and living paycheck to paycheck. Hard work without financial literacy is like running really fast in the wrong direction. You're putting in maximum effort and getting minimal results. And the worst part? Financial literacy isn't even that complicated. It's just that nobody teaches it to us. The basics: save more than you spend, invest the difference, avoid high-interest debt, diversify your income streams, understand taxes. This stuff could be taught in a semester, but it's not. So you've got millions of people working their tails off, making money, and then immediately giving it all back to the system through bad financial decisions, not because they're dumb, but because they were never taught. All right, we've covered a lot of heavy stuff. You might be feeling a little depressed right now, but here's the good news. You can break out of this cycle. It's not easy, but it's possible. Let me give you the actual roadmap. Step 1. Change your relationship with money. Stop trading time for money exclusively. Start thinking about how to create value that scales. What can you do once that pays you multiple times? Step 2. Invest in high-leverage skills. Learn sales, marketing, persuasion, financial literacy. These skills will pay you for the rest of your life. Yeah, it takes time. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. Do it anyway.
Step 3. Start building ownership, even if it's small. Buy stocks, start a side business, create digital products, build an audience. Get on the ownership side of the equation, even if you're still working a job. Step 4. Master your expenses. This isn't about being cheap, it's about being intentional. Every dollar you save is a dollar that can work for you. Lifestyle inflation is your enemy. Defeat it. Step 5. Educate yourself financially. Read books, watch videos, take courses. Learn how money actually works. You don't need an MBA. You just need to commit to continuous learning. Step 6. Play the long game. This is crucial. Wealth is built over years, not overnight. The hard workers who stay poor are often looking for quick fixes. The hard workers who become wealthy play the long game. Step 7. Change your environment. You become who you surround yourself with. If everyone around you is broke and complaining, that's contagious. Find people who are building wealth and learn from them. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. This is hard. It might even be harder than the hard work you're already doing. But here's the difference. This hard work leads somewhere. This hard work compounds. This hard work eventually sets you free. So let's bring it home. Why do people who work the hardest often stay poor? Because hard work alone isn't enough. Because they're trading time for money instead of building assets. Because they're developing skills that don't scale. Because they're on the wrong side of the ownership equation. Because of lifestyle inflation, and because they lack financial literacy. But here's the thing. None of this is your fault. You were never taught this stuff. The system benefits from keeping you in the dark. But now you know. Now you understand the game. The question is, what are you going to do about it? You can keep grinding away hoping things will magically change. Or you can start making different moves. Start building ownership. Start developing high-leverage skills. Start playing the long game. The choice is yours. But I promise you this. The hard work you put into building wealth will pay off a hell of a lot more than the hard work you put into building someone else's dream. If this video opened your eyes, smash that like button. And if you're serious about breaking free from the cycle of hard work without wealth, subscribe to Success Talks. We're dropping truth bombs like this every single week. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's one thing you're going to change after watching this video? I read every single comment. Until next time, remember, work smart, build assets, and never stop learning.